crystal clear. I make magic with these hundreds, watch them disappear. Big ol' raindrops up in my ear. If you gon' name drop, let's get it clear. Jessie, VVS, I just turn the water on. Big ol' flex, shit you never saw before. These niggas chasing me like waterfalls.
Okay guys, before we continue, I just want to remind you guys that I am going on my first vacation. Okay, my first trip. We are going down to Cartagena, okay, Colombia, and we're gonna have a good time. Now, if you go to woocation.net, you'll see all the information that is available concerning the trip. Down on the lower part of the page, you will see place that says contact us. This is how I will be contacting you if you have any questions, concerns. This is how me or my team will be contacting you. Not doing anything via Instagram, not doing anything via Threads, not answering anything via TikTok, not answering anything via AOL, Black Planet, MySpace, Facebook. No. If you have any questions or concerns, the contact us is how you will be addressed, point blank period. Just want to make that clear because I'm getting DMs, I'm getting comments, and no ma'am, we are all, I'm handling everything through the site, okay? So please, if you have any questions or concerns, go to contact us and your questions, concerns will be addressed. Also, if you notice at the bottom of the page, there is info@wherefunhappens.com. You can also email there and get your questions and concerns addressed as well, all right? But I look forward to seeing all of you guys who do decide to come. It's gonna be a great time. All the trip info is on the website. All the steps to booking is on the website. Our itinerary is on the website. We provide hotel information as well. You can click on host hotel. We have a party pass for all the activities that we're going to be doing. So just make sure you use the website to its fullest, okay? I did pay a lot of money to have this website set up. So please make use of it, okay? But I look forward to seeing all of you guys who do join me on this trip. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. So thank you in advance.
What's up, y'all? It's your sister. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, make sure that you subscribe so you could join the Black Women's Tribe during Black Women's History Month, okay? Also, if you are a returning sister, thank you so much. You know I love you guys. Make sure that you like, share, leave a comment. Y'all, it's so much going down in these Love is Blind streets. I ain't even had time to get my wig put on, lashes, nothing. I said, let me go ahead and get this tea out before the actual reunion airs, because I think by the time the reunion airs, this stuff might not even matter. Who knows? But let's just get straight into it, y'all. So, okay, y'all. So y'all know Jeramey from this season of Love is Blind, season 6. Baby, the allegations are allegationing. Okay, the allegations are allegationing. Now remember, while he was down to the Love is Blind streets, we found out that Jeramey was a Haitian. He had a whole side family back in North Carolina, child. A whole side family with a wife and a child. Now, apparently the child wasn't his, but still, it was his child, okay? It might not be biologically his child, but it was his child. You said it's your child, and it really messed me up. How can you deny your own flesh and blood? Yes, Mary. Now you said it's your child. Okay, so anyway, he already had that allegation basically when he tried out. Well, actually, when Love is Blind people reached out to Jeramey, Jeramey was still living with that lady, and then he left that lady, got a new home, and went on down to the Love is Blind streets to find him a new wife. Anyway, child, so now we have one of Jeramey's exes who's getting her Risa Tisa on down to the TikTok streets doing a part 1, part 2, part 3. Now, I know this lady don't think she about to get the Risa Tisa treatment during Black Women's History Month. No, ma'am. Everybody white sit tight. Everybody white sit tight. This is not our fight, okay? So we will not be taking flight, okay? This is your plight, all right? And it's not right for us to give you that type of platform during Black Women's Black History Month, okay? So no. But anyway, now y'all, she down to the TikTok streets getting her Risa Tisa on, and I did not listen to all 4 parts. I think I listened to part 1, part 2, part 3, and I was like, okay, this is it's not giving. It's not giving. She is talking a lot of. She is spewing a lot of things out about what took place between her and Jeramey. But she's just really long-winded, and it takes a while for her to get to the damn point to tell us what happened. But y'all, what she is saying is very, very bad. So not only did this man leave, you know, his side family to go find love on Love is Blind, but apparently this man tried to pew this lady. Like, see, this is what happens when casting is sending DMs through IG and not actually verifying and vetting people. Do you guys remember Renee from last season? She currently has a lawsuit against the production company for Love is Blind because they put her in a very dangerous situation with the man that they had her fiancéed up with. The man turned out to be very violent. It just was it turned out to be a very dangerous situation. And so you have violence with Renee. You have the other lawsuit with, I believe her name is Tran, where she was abused sexually. And now you have the white Reese coming forward and telling us about how Jeramey was trying to pew her. So I'm going to play a little bit of what she talked about. In part one, she details a story that I'm not going to show here, but she detailed a story about how she came home one night and Jeramey was so mad at her and yelling at her, and he punched a hole through a wall right next to her face. It's really crazy. Then I'm going to give you guys a little bit of part 2 and part 3 where she talks about him trying to pew her.
Okay, TikTok part 2. I'm so sorry it's taken so long to put these together. One, I'm very sick right now, and I have a very busy 9 to 5, so I'm going to try to make these as fast as possible. I will not make this a Reese length type thing. Guys, there is a lot to this, but not that much. And I'm going to try to be very direct and to the point. So, trigger warning, we are discussing domestic violence, so if that is not something that you are okay with, please do not watch this video. And also, disclaimer, this is simply my experience with this individual. I'm not here to say that this is how they are to this day. So let's get into part 2. I left off by saying that Jeramey and I had moved in together, and we had been living together for a little while. My brother was coming to visit. So I was super excited. My brother has never visited me in Florida, and he had a new girlfriend, and I was super excited to meet her. So they came down when I was living with Jeramey, and one night we decided to go out to a karaoke bar. So I had been to this bar quite a few times, and I know quite a few of the patrons there. So we get in there, and I go to the bar to get us some drinks, and I'm there for a while waiting for the drinks. They're pretty busy in there, always. So I go in, and I get the drinks, and I'm waiting at the bar, and I'm just chit-chatting with the guy next to me, one of the other patrons that's there pretty regularly, and Jeramey comes up, and he's visibly upset, and he's upset that I'm talking to this guy for so long. And in my mind, I'm thinking I'm just being friendly. I know this person, but he was upset about this, y'all. Like, so much so that he left us at the bar. And this is before Uber and before Lyft. So we had to call a cab to get home. We end up getting home, and all hell breaks loose. We get into the bedroom, and fighting starts immediately. And it escalates to the point that he actually puts his fist through the wall. And I'm a little taken back because this person, if you know this person from the show, you would not think that they would be like this, especially if you know them in real life. Like, when I tell you, I have never seen someone snap and just flip like that to a totally different person. Y'all, it was like something I've never seen before. And the rage was terrifying. So I ended up sleeping out in the living room that night. The next morning, I am mortified because obviously my brother's in the next room, so he's hearing all of this. I am so embarrassed. And they end up leaving the next day. So obviously things are tense in the morning. They leave. We sit down and talk things out, and we work out a solution of how we're going to avoid this happening again in the future. And a few months go by, and things are pretty good. And then another fight breaks out. And this time it escalates to where I'm walking away. I'm trying to get away. And he's just following me around the house. in and out of different rooms. I'm shutting bedroom doors and he's banging on them trying to get in. And I'm finally like, I'm just going to leave the house. Now, I have zero family where I live. And so I ended up calling his stepmother. And I explained to her what was going on. And I was like, I need somewhere to go. So she's like, girl, come on over. I got you. So I go to her house. This whole time, he is blowing my phone up. It won't stop. So I finally get to her house. I get inside. She pours me a glass of wine. We sit down and I start going over what's happened. And my phone is still blowing up. And then he shows up at the house. He is pounding on the door. Let me in, let me in. Let me talk to her. I want to talk to her. And she's like, his stepmom goes and answers the door. She goes, she does not want to speak to you right now. You are too much right now. You need to leave. You know where she is. You know she is safe. She's having a glass of wine with me in the living room. She's going to stay the night here. You need to go home. So finally, he leaves. And I'm torn because I'm like, I love this guy. Like, I don't know what to do. And I'm literally asking his family. I'm like, you know him. What do I do? And I think even they were a little like, they weren't surprised, but they also didn't offer me really any advice. Okay, guys, part 3. So he leaves her house. I stay the night. I end up going home the next morning. We sit down, we talk things out. We figured out that, maybe we start over somewhere new. Maybe we leave Florida. We start looking at different places, talk about Tennessee, North Carolina, and he starts looking at jobs. Now, I was skeptical because I never really wanted to leave Florida. I always loved it here. I always wanted to be here. But it was either go with him or end the relationship, and I wasn't really ready to do that yet. So I decided to go with him. And he ended up finding a job in Charlotte. So his job actually started before mine did. And so he actually went up first, and then I followed up after with the U-Haul and everything. So we ended up getting a house in Concord initially, and my office was all the way in Ballantyne. So if you know the area of Charlotte, then you know that's a really long drive. I did it for a few months, and then it really started to wear on me. So we broke that lease and ended up moving into a condo closer to Uptown. When we got into the condo, at first things were pretty good. I had 2 sisters that had weddings. He went with me to both of those, in those time frames between the 2 houses. So I was hopeful that things were going to be better in a new place. And then I started to stay, with my job being in sales, it was very social. So it was a bullpen style sales environment. And so when work got out, we would all go down the street, have a cocktail, and then go home, right? So one night I go out and I'm staying out a little later than I normally do because I had gotten off work a little later, and he knew where I was. I told him what I was doing. He shows up at this restaurant, storms in, and is like, what are you still doing here? I'm sorry. I'm here just finishing up with some friends. Like, I'll be home in a little bit. What's up? Like, I thought you were at home. He's like, yeah, but I think you should come home now. I'm like, okay. Is there something wrong? Like, no, I just think it's getting late. Like, you should be home. I'm going, well, I will be home when I'm done here. I promise. Like, I'll come home. I promise. And he's visibly angry and storms out of this restaurant. So I finish up what I'm doing and I leave and I go home. When I get home, he is ignoring me, won't talk to me. And at this point, I'm kind of like, whatever. So I don't press it. And then a few hours go by and I'm finally like, yeah, he's still silent treatment. So I'm like, do you want to talk about this? And it starts off at a conversation like it should. And then it escalates to an argument. And then it escalates to yelling and shouting. And at this point, the argument had moved upstairs into our master bedroom. I realized quickly we're not getting anywhere with this argument. And I just want out. So I go to leave. I go around, and I wasn't leaving the house. I was just going into the spare bedroom, which is around the corner. I turn the corner, I go around into the spare bedroom, and I go to close the door. He stops it. I can't close the door. I go to back up a little bit and he flings the door open. The next thing I know, there is a pew-pew pointed at my face. And guys, this is really hard to relive, so bear with me here. I don't remember exactly what he said in that moment. I was so just in shock. I literally thought my life was about to be over. I did. I didn't know what, I didn't think he would be capable of. Guys, never in a million years would I think that this person would have done this to me. Okay? Never. And so he lowered the pew-pew and I was able to run. And thank the Lord, I had my phone in my hand. I was able to run out of the house. I had 911 on the phone. As I was running, and all I can think about is get away from this property. Get away from this property. So I start running as fast as I can, and I speed behind some bushes, and I start running up behind the back end of our condo complex. And I'm freaking out. I'm crying. I tell them, I don't know. I left the property. I'm not near him. I don't know where he is. I think he's still there. And all this, I stay down the street for what felt like forever. And it was so cold. I was literally hiding in the bushes in my pajamas. And I finally hear the sirens and I can see the lights. And so the lady on the phone with me is like, hey, I think they're there. If they're there, let's go. We can hang up. And if he's not at the property, can you please go to the property? So I look and his vehicle's not out front. So I walk back up to the property and I see the police out front. The first thing they do is they go, ma'am, is.
Now, if you guys want to see the rest of her story, feel free to go to her TikTok. She has several parts of the story. I will say this, all jokes aside, you know, y'all know I'm everybody white, sit tight. Team everybody white, sit tight. Okay, especially during Black Women's History Month. But this story is insane, and the fact that research is really not being done on these people before they put them on these shows. Like, this is pretty insane. And you would think, given the past incidents that have taken place during filming on Love is Blind, you would think somebody like this would not make it near Love is Blind cameras. But yet here we are, season 6. And mind you, the next 2 seasons are already filmed. Okay? I know this for a fact. I have friends that are in production. They're already filmed. So they are filming this show like it's a sweatshop. Okay? Like, it is a freaking sweatshop. And they're making so much money from this show. Y'all can hire people to verify and vet people, do background checks, speak with family members. Like, y'all can do that. Y'all can do this instead of just slapping somebody and boom, putting them on Love is Blind. You know, it's just, I don't know. It's crazy. So anyway, y'all, post the allegationing by this lady here trying to get her receipts. He's on. And here's another thing too, girl. Just say Jeramey. Who Jeramey? Like, we can't put 2 and 2 together and make it add up to 4. Girl, if you share Jeramey, girl, we know who the fuck you talking about. Just say Jeramey. Like, come on now. So anyway, let's hear Jeramey's response, which I find very, very interesting. Let's hear what he had to say.
So I'm a pretty fun, lighthearted person in general. However, this is not a laughing matter. We're going to go ahead and talk about these gun accusations that have been thrown my way by a Miss Meredith Walsh. And we're going to throw some challenges, to say the least, at this story. So let's go ahead and dive into it. I didn't watch all of the videos in pure detail, only because I already know what's going to be said. This isn't the first time I've heard this. So let's just go ahead and dive into it. It's not going to be a 6, 7, 14-part video like the other ones have been. We're just going to go ahead and knock it out in one. So 1, we're going to go ahead and address the false accusations. Yes, I was falsely accused in 2016. 2, why? I wish I knew why. To this day, I still don't know why. The only thing that I can think of is the night that this all happened, I had discovered that she was actually going around behind my back and seeing someone else. Something that I had long suspected was happening.
It's giving Legion. I'm sorry. It's giving Legion. Oh, she was going around my back sleeping with somebody. It's giving Legion. I'm so sorry. Why you always lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God, stop fucking lying.
So was able to get confirmation that night. None of this story happened. This just isn't a thing. So let's continue to go down the little rabbit trail here. So one, let's address the whole police situation. Me being held at gunpoint, being placed in a cop car. None of this happened. The way something like that would happen is if I'm held at gunpoint, I'm placed in a cop car. Don't you think that there would be a police report over something like that? Something that serious. Don't you think there would be a police report for that? There is no police report. Yes, you did falsely accuse me of this, but there wasn't enough to go off of because the shit never happened. So let's continue.
I believe him. Not gonna hold you. I believe him. And some of y'all gonna be like, well, no. You can't just go online and say something like this and not have no receipts. Where's the police report? Now I'ma need her to come forward with the police report for me to believe it. There's no way a man is pewing you and then the police gotta restrain him and put no police report. Nah. Not saying it's not possible, but I'm just saying. But also, he is white, and white people do get away with a lot of things. But still, a white man pewing a white woman, and then like no police report. I don't know. Tell me what y'all think.
There's no police reports, nothing available about this. I've even tried finding it. I tried finding it after it all happened. I tried finding it, a week ago at this point because all of this stirred back up for, again, the second time. The police department doesn't even have it. They never filed a report on it, never did anything because there was nothing to go off of. Why? Because nothing happened. So, let's continue to go. Switch this damn page. Little heated over this, if you can't tell. I would like to ask some of my legal friends in the audience about something like this. So, in a situation like this that is supposedly this severe, it doesn't matter if someone doesn't want to press charges. The police are going to make that ultimate decision, and then so is the district attorney. The reason I know that is I was falsely accused of this and had to go through the whole damn thing. I understood how anything could work at this point, just because I was on the other side of this. I didn't know what was going on. I had to figure it out. So, 1, there's no police report. 2, I was never held at gunpoint on anything, was never put in a police car. None of that ever happened. 3, if this was serious and if it actually happened, something would have come of this. There would be some evidence of it somewhere. And if anybody can find that report, like I said before, send it to me. I'd love to have a copy of it. So let's address my PEW'Ds that were in the house. So I had, at the time, 5 guns. 3 of them were inoperable. 2 of them were, one was from my dad. It was a .22, just rifle, old .22 rifle. The second one was a World War II rifle. Neither of those worked. The third one was a single lever action shotgun, like a farming shotgun, that I had gotten from my grandfather that was from like 1942. Also didn't work. I did have my own shotgun, I had my own rifle, but I also like to hunt and shoot. Sorry, it's a thing that people do.
Quick correction. That is a thing that white people do, baby. Let's go ahead and correct that. Why do you have so many pews, baby? Jeramey, why do you have so many pews? You ain't got no other hobbies, baby. You just walking around just shooting all the time? And why do you have World War I rifles and guns and all that? You see, okay, maybe sis is telling the truth. What is going on? Why do white people be having all these guns? Why? Why, Lord? Why?
One of the things I am most upset about with this whole situation is I elected to turn those over that night to not have any future problems. Just be like, you know what? I don't feel like being accused of this again. I don't like this. go ahead and take them. They're like, hey, you'll get them back. I never got those back. Not because there was ever any evidence of it ever happening, but because I learned the hard way, if you choose to turn things over like that, good luck ever getting anything back, and those were destroyed. I lost things from my father that night. I lost things from my grandfather that night, all over a lie. I've gotten over that, but obviously with this coming back up, drums up a little bit of that kind of raw emotional feeling there. So we're going to address a couple of the bullet points here. Again, I didn't watch all the videos. I don't want to watch all the videos. I don't care to watch all of these videos. But there was a couple of funny topics that I'd like to discuss. So one, it's not like me to stay out all night and do things like that. Talking about Meredith saying she doesn't stay out all night, go out drinking, all that stuff. A couple of these things I can't prove. One of them I can. It was an every weekend event where this person was out till 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, completely no-showing, completely disappeared, had no idea where she was at. I'm 23, 24 at the time, an emotional wreck. I don't know what to do about it, so I just kind of sat and dealt with it. I was really, excuse my language, fucking stupid for doing that, but that's what I did. The one thing I can prove, and I'm not going to, you guys can go look this up yourself, I'm not going to just give it out at this point. I can back this up because there's a DUI from a week before we left to come to Florida where she pulled the same shit. She got pulled over at 1 o'clock in the morning driving from leaving a house party. Again, look that up in Sarasota County. You can find it. It's there. There's evidence of that. Here's something else I can't prove. It did happen, but we're just going to throw it out there. Is a couple of months to maybe a year after this all happened, I actually ended up getting an apology email from Meredith over this whole situation. She didn't have a way to contact me over the phone. She didn't have a way to, reach me anywhere else. So she emailed me on my work email. Unfortunately, I don't work with that company anymore, so I lost that email, but that did happen. I can't prove it. Maybe I can find it at some point. Here's my favorite part of all this. Since all of this has happened, we've actually been in contact with each other. We've been cordial up through all of this. We were working together on a marketing project as recent as last year, which, again, without giving too much away, working together on a marketing project for a business that I was working on that happened right before I went on the show.
Girl, why are you working with somebody who tried to pew you? Like, now I'm upset because you got me taken up for Jeramey during Black Women's History Month. Really? Why are you doing marketing stuff with a man who tried to pew you? Like, let's be for real. Why?
She is one of the people that knew I was going on the show because I had to pause working with her because obviously I've got no contact with the outside world while I'm doing that. So had to put it on pause. Also, texting me saying, hey, don't get married on that show. Then you and I couldn't get married. Obviously, I took that as a joke because that would never happen to begin with. What did happen, though, is when I got back from the show, I went down to Tampa, and I was with my significant other at that time. And taking a break after the show, just going and relaxing, I get a text message from her asking, hey, what are you doing in Tampa? I guess she found my location on social media or something I had posted, whatever. And I told her directly, came to town for the weekend, need to get out of Charlotte after the show, wrapped up just to chill. And all the response I get is, girlfriend, got it. I'll leave you be. So there's that right there. I'm saying all of this to sum up. If any of this was true, why would somebody be in contact with you? If you were so fearful of what I had done by supposedly pointing a gun at you, would you not want to press charges? You knew where my other guns were. Would you not grab one and defend yourself? And then why would you circle back around with me and be cordial with me and work with me on projects, be texting with me? We had gone to a lunch at one point. Like, I'm just as surprised to see this all happening just because I'm learning things about myself from these stories that I didn't even know. But two, I'm actually really not all that surprised. I know who you are as a person. I fucked up by letting you come back around. And you know what? Here's my repercussion for that. That's fine, but you're a liar. Moving forward, my legal team is going to handle this, and I've got nothing else to say. Thank you.
Now, I don't know what's going on here. Did y'all notice how it was all that wee going on in the background, child? Are them the cop cars coming to get Jeramey? Jeramey makes a lot of good points. If this really did happen, if he really did try to pew you, girl, why are you still contacting him for work? Why are you trying to see if he got a girlfriend? Why are you trying to chill with him? Like, it doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. And now you're down to TikTok trying to get your Risa Tisa on part 1, part 2, part 3. Like, it's giving clout. It's giving I'm chasing clout, and that's all it's giving. You know, now I would hate to think a grown woman would get online and lie like that, you know, but it's very possible. He has the receipts. He gave us the screenshots of you texting him. So, girl, unless you gonna come with the receipts of him trying to pew, what was the point? What do you want us to do with this information? What do y'all be wanting us to do with the information that y'all be coming to us with? You need to call the police. You need to file a report. You need to tell the police about how he tried to pew you, okay? And you need to let law enforcement figure that out. Y'all are white, okay? Y'all got the power. The power is on y'all side, okay? So hopefully, if it really did happen to her, hopefully she does get, you know, the justice that she's looking for, I guess. But I don't know, y'all. It looks like Jeramey's not lying, and I believe him. I know we should be, you know, all team women's. I know, but, you know, these Susan B. Anthony assholes be lying. So let me know what you think about what he said. Let's move on. Y'all, the irony of this clip for me is Ken coming out the closet. Like, is that a closet that Kenneth just comes out of, Lord? The jokes write themselves, I swear. Woo! Now, what in the hell is going on? Does this mean what I think it means? Does this mean that Brittany and Ken are reunited and it feels so good? Reunited feel, baby. Does this mean that he is no longer attracted to dolphins? Hold me like you were my brother. Love me like a mother. Will you be there? And when you out, when you holding me, I want you out when you holding me, I want you out when you holding me. Oh my God, I'm so sorry, y'all. I still think Kenneth is gay. I don't care what nobody says. I still think that man is gay. I don't care what nobody says. But you know what? Maybe Brittany can help him ungay himself. I'll never forget when I was working at a church, and the worship pastor at the time, he was black. He was a man, and everybody, you know, most of the church staff was white. Most of the people in church was white, period. You know, white people, when they see two black people, they're like, oh my God, get married. You know, like, kind of like their ancestors, how their ancestors used to be like, you know how their ancestors used to force slaves to get married to each other. They didn't care whether you had chemistry or nothing like that. It was like, hey, two black slaves, put them together. I felt like that's how they felt about me and this black man. But anyway, I kept telling them that man is gay. I done seen that man draw his hairline with a eyeliner pencil, okay? Any man that draws his hairline with an eyeliner is gay, point blank, period. All right, and I'll never forget that his daddy told me, you could ungay my son. I'll never forget that. And I was like, my Lord, that is not my ministry. Is that what God placed me to do? Is that my ministry, Jesus? Absolutely not. But anyway, going back to Kenneth, I think he's gay as hell. Now, when I saw this video, it made me think of the scene where Brittany and Kenneth went to go visit his apartment. I remembered him having that same Nike sweater on. So I was like, okay, is this from that same day? Is this video new or is it from that same day? And I went back and I found that clip. So you can see them both here in that clip, and he is wearing that sweater, but his hair is a little different. It looks like his hair in that Netflix clip, in the Love is Blind clip, it looks like he had just taken him out the twist. In the video from TikTok, his hair looks more pressed out, maybe like more blown out. And also he's wearing light colored shorts in the Love is Blind clip. Also, Brittany is wearing a black sweater, a black jacket with a green top. In the TikTok, she's wearing a pink top. So I don't know. And her hair looks a little shorter in the TikTok clip. So y'all, it looks like that TikTok is from post the show. Now, I have seen online where someone said that she said that actually when we saw them break up, that was them reenacting their breakup. I never saw her say that for herself, but I've seen people say that. So I don't know, but also it just was weird. The Kenneth thing, it just, something was off about it from the beginning. If you've watched my videos, I've said from the beginning something was off about these two. So IDK what to think about this. They're probably just friends, but I guess we'll have to see at the reunion. Okay, y'all, moving right along, we have Clay's alleged ex coming forward and dropping a whole lot of tea. This young lady, you guys always send me her stuff. She's really, really good on TikTok with covering the Love is Blind stuff. I believe her name is Ricky. And she be getting down to the bottom of what's going on, especially on the social side. She be getting down into the nitty gritty with what's going on with Love is Blind, the cast members on social media. So I guess she came across some comments that Clay's ex-girlfriend was placing on different pages, and here's a TikTok of what she had to say.
Now, Clay's alleged ex of 3 years was popping off on Instagram in the comment section. Let's read what she had to say. This is her right here. Girl, Clay is a liar. He has hella hoes before this show and after. Wasted 3 years of my life. I can't do nothing but crack up at all the people who really don't know him. This was all for TV, child. Somebody asked, is that your man? She said, not anymore. He needs severe help. She said, girl, I cussed him out like a dirty dog. Sad part is I was really in love with him, but I prayed about it and God revealed it. My angels don't play about me. I'm too solid for that mess. He's literally delusional. You have no idea just how trash he is. His face card will never save him. He's so mean and bitter to women. It's insane. She says, I'm so glad y'all really have no idea. He's so good at lying. Had me thinking I was crazy. I'm so happy to leave him alone. He's never going to find nothing good because he breaks every good woman's heart. Pity to that man. Says in the comments, I wish I would have known way sooner. I finally cut him off a couple of months ago and boom, this happened. Then someone told me this actually filmed earlier last year and I'm just like, what the fuck? But God was giving me signs and I keep asking him about stuff. He just keeps lying. It's truly sad how he is. I don't even hate him anymore. I just wish he gets help because he's got major issues that only God can fix. Hope he finds healing, to be honest, and no other woman who keeps enabling his behavior because I wasn't having it. So she was saying a lot. He likes overly sexual women with low self-esteem. That's truly his type. He's not ready for a real woman at all. I wish him or anybody he know would at me. I'm gonna go straight in. I did DM this girl. So it just looks like she was responding to comments about Clay. So here's something else she said. And also this. So what she told me in our DMs is that her and Clay met and dated in 2020 and she cut him off in October of 2023. So that would mean Love is Blind filmed in March through May of 2023. That would mean that they were still in contact, allegedly, post filming. Now, I did ask her for text screenshots, photos, pictures. I asked her when's the last time she's seen Clay. She said that she deleted a lot of the information because she was so pissed at him and over him. Now, if you check her page, Clay has liked a significant amount of her pictures, so she definitely knows him. She basically told me that throughout the course of their relationship that Clay was a massive piece of shit and she caught him cheating with multiple women. She shared several other women that she caught Clay dating that could potentially overlap with a relationship with AD if he did in fact date AD post filming. So I reached out to them as well and we'll see what comes of that. I have heard through the grapevine that there's multiple women planning to come forward if Clay and AD say that they remain together post-filming, because there are multiple women that dated him post-filming. They're just waiting to see if him and AD stayed together or if they're in fact broken up. Because if they're broken up, I guess it really wouldn't matter. However, there is a video floating around that is allegedly of Clay and AD in November of 2023.
Now, I've shown you guys the clip of AD with Clay and his family.
Hey y'all, it was too funny. But that's the recap. Bye y'all.
So literally less than 3 months ago, they were all together, celebrating together.
Hey y'all,
so
it was
I
too
wouldn't be
funny. But that's the
surprised
recap.
if we get
Bye
to a
y'all.
reunion and we hear that they got back together or that they tried.
Hey y'all, it was too funny. But that's the
won't be
recap.
surprised
Bye y'all.
by Clay just saying a whole bunch of nothing and talking in circles and just saying
Hey
a whole
y'all, it
bunch
was
of
too
nothing
funny. But that's the recap. Bye
about them
y'all.
being back together. I wouldn't be surprised. Now, I did look up the girl who is saying
Hey
that
y'all, it was
she
too
is
funny.
his
But that's the recap.
ex-girlfriend. Now, I don't really know what to make of this young lady because she didn't give any receipts of them being together. However, you know, if this really is his ex-girlfriend, then it does give that Clay does have a type. But I don't know. I'm just really skeptical about this. I've seen Clay say in a previous interview that he hasn't been in a serious relationship in years. And from what the girl Ricky said, this girl couldn't provide any text threads other than some text threads from 2021. So it's just giving that y'all was hunching. Like, it's not giving that y'all were in a relationship. Not saying that what she is saying about Clay is not valid, about him being, you know, mean or whatever, but it's not given that y'all were in a relationship. It is still my very unpopular opinion that Clay is not checking for you or AD. I think that Clay is very self-centered. He's a self-centered bad bitch who's looking for a better bitch. It's not giving that he's really into y'all girls. I'm just saying, it doesn't give that he really wants
giving,
a woman. Women are a means of an end to this man. That's what it's giving. But let me know your thoughts on this. I have my final piece of tea is actually coming from AD's camp. I did post a skit yesterday, and this is the skit. Okay, body.
You see
okay,
it.
body.
You see the
okay,
material.
I see you.
You see it.
Yeah, you got that shit on.
Period.
Word. So several of this young lady's friends, I guess the young lady in the orange, were tagging her in the skit like, girl, you done made it. And she left a couple comments under the post. Now, after she left these comments, I did reach out to her and DM her for more clarity, but she hasn't answered me. And I'm not surprised because I do know, like in the DM, I did tell her, listen, like I know that AD can't really say anything because she's under a tight NDA, but maybe you can shed more light on what actually took place at the wedding. Here's what she put in my comment section. Now, if you go to the post, I did pin it. I did pin her comment so you could see the comments that she does leave, but there was one particular comment that she left that said, just a couple things. There was so much context that doesn't make for good TV. But ultimately, I just want to testify to the strength of AD's character. I'm blessed to know her and so proud of her carriage of self throughout this process. It was not easy, and I'm glad people are getting to see her for the supernova she truly is. You know what this makes me think of? It makes me think of Aaliyah from last season. I remember interviewing her and she said how she didn't lose her shit. She stayed calm. Even like when certain situations were so appalling, she stayed very, very calm because she didn't want to misrepresent Black women on television. So that kind of makes me think about AD. Is it that same type of situation where during filming, she was just trying to keep her composure when it came to Clay playing in her face, because she was just very mindful of how she might come across. You know, I've been on reality television and I have told you guys several times, there were a lot of things that were not shown. There were a lot of scenes that were not shown that purposely painted me in a certain way. I really wish that, I mean, it's been a long time. It's been 6 years since I did it, but there's nothing wrong with just showing a little bit of everything so the full picture of the person can be shown and the audience can make their own decision about whether they like that person or not. But what reality television tends to do is they want to steer the reality. They will have a whole bunch of footage, but won't show a well-rounded version of the person that they're showcasing because they want to show a certain storyline. They want to show a certain image of whoever it is that they're showing. And so her friend saying that does make me think, was that the case when it came to AD? Now, I did DM her friend and ask her, girl, were they paid to stay? Did she go off on Clay, and they didn't show us that? Or did Clay play in her face? Like, give me a little something. What else did I ask? I asked a friend a bunch of questions, but I don't know. I don't think she'll respond. Of course she has her friend to protect, but I told her friend, I said, listen, when I'm watching the show and I'm listening to AD speak on Clay, I'm like, what Clay is she talking about? When AD says things like, oh, I'll jump off a cliff for this man and I know he'll catch me. What Clay you talking about? It can't be the same Clay that wouldn't come home to you. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see when the reunion comes. We'll see what happens. But these are just a couple things that I wanted to come in for this episode of Just a Couple Things to let you guys know. And let me know what you guys think. Drop down in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. I will be watching the reunion as soon as it drops at midnight. And first thing tomorrow morning, I will be putting my wig on and my lashes on, and we will be getting to the tea. Okay? All right, y'all. I will see you guys in the next episode of Just a Couple Things. Love y'all.
All these diamonds on my body and they crystal clear. I make magic with these hundreds, watch them disappear. Big ol' raindrops up in my ear. If you gon' name drop, let's get it clear. Jessie,